Himeji was the site of the capital of Harima province in ancient times. Himeji Castle started out as a fortress built in a town during this time. Later, during the Middle Ages, the town became the seat of the Shugo. While some theories hold the castle's construction dates back to the 14th century, it is generally considered to have been built by Kuruda Shigetaka and his son Mototaka, who began construction of a branch of the fortress in the Gochaku Castle in the mid-16th century. In 1580, when Hashiba Hideyoshi subjugated Harima province, he rebuilt the existing structure as Himeji Castle on the orders of Oda Nobunaga. The castle was fashioned as a fortress with stone walls and a three-tiered keep. During this period, Hashiba's retainers gathered in the surrounding area, merchants were encouraged to locate nearby, and a town was built below the castle. In the year 1600, Ikeda Terumasa, who had been granted Harima province by the Battle of Sekigahara, undertook large-scale repairs, maintaining the layout set in the Hashiba period. He built a 5-tiered keep as seen here, and high stone walls amongst other improvements. As Terumasa was married to Tokuhime, a daughter of the Tokugawa Ieyasu, their son was chosen to become a daimyo and was granted the provinces of Awaji and Baizen. Collectively, Terumasa controlled land that afforded an annual income of 1 million koku of rice. The center of the Ikeda domain was Himeji Castle, which was expected to keep the western daimyo loyal to Toyotomi Hideyoshi in check and to act as a linchpin in the network of castles constructed by Ieyasu to encircle Toyotomi Hideyori in the Osaka castle. In 1618, the Nishi-no-maru, or Western Bailey, was expanded, and the San-no-maru, the Third Bailey, was remodeled by Handa Tadamasa, who took possession of the castle following the Akita clan. This concluded the construction of Himeji Castle. Around this time, the Semba River was restored, linking the port of Shikamazu with the castle town via the Senzemon Moat, construction of which had been halted during Akita's time. The castle was subsequently ruled by a succession of feudal lords from various clans and fell under the control of the Saki clan before Japan's feudal domains were being replaced by prefectures. As seen here, you're entering the gates to view Himeji Castle after crossing the first bridge on the eastern side. Soon Himeji Castle appears to your left, and over to your right you'll see the zoo that is currently located near Himeji Castle. Now that's Himeji Castle standing up there. We're at a fairly long distance from it currently. You can see the multiple keeps at this time, rising from the first wall, second wall, third wall, and then the actual building itself back. Here we are going into the next gate, into the actual entrance of Himeji Castle, into the lower grounds. Himeji Castle at a distance is seen here, and going through another gate. At this time, the cicadas were extremely loud, which caused for some interesting footage. The roofs here are tiered in a way that it made it easy for the soldiers inside Himeji Castle to fight enemies outside of the walls. As you can see here and here, the walls have holes in them so that the soldiers could poke their swords out, not their swords, their guns out and their bows and arrows out and kill oncoming enemies from an easy distance and safe distance. The castle itself had many different clans that held it over the years. This was shown throughout the castle on the roofs themselves, with the symbols of those clans being put on the edges of the roofs. Many doors are fairly low in height that you have to dodge the roofing. There's a story about a stone, as can be seen here. A woman near Himeji Castle and donated her millstone, her hand millstone, to the building of the Himeji Castle walls. And Hideyoshi happily accepted her offer, put the stone in the wall, and the story spread, and many others came and donated their stones as well. As you walk through Himeji Castle, you slowly get closer and closer to the actual keep in a winding path that was meant to distract and be able to ambush enemies as they came through trying to storm the castle. You can see that Himeji Castle has a great view of the surrounding area and easily could be defensible in the wake of an attack upon it. Here is where the soldiers could open up the floor and drop large stones on the enemies who were coming below in the pathways. A hard locked door moving from one of the keeps to the east keep. Here is the center pillar, the eastern center pillar, where it is actually one entire piece of one entire tree leading from the bottom floor to the top floor, while the western pillar is two different trees fused together near the center. These were discovered during an excavation to be full one-piece trees in the 1950s. Here is two different views that you have from the third tier of the Himeji Castle, of the surrounding area, and how easily defensible it would be. Another two views. These are the dragons on the edges of the roofs near the top. There's one in each corner, north, south, east, and west, to help protect against danger. These are the three different kinds that were on Himeji Castle during the different periods shown here. In the Meiji period on the far left, in the middle the Showa period, and on the far right the Heisei. Now, Himeji Castle in 1874 held the 10th Infantry Regiment of the Imperial Japanese Army. It was stationed on the castle ground, and in 1896 the 10th Division was also posted there. Having been transformed from a castle town to a military town, Himeji was targeted by air raids during the Second World War. Bombs fell within the grounds, but Himeji Castle's main building escaped major damage. In January 1936, the main keep, West Small Keep, Northwest Small Keep, and East Small Keep, as well as the connecting galleries, were designated national treasures. In 1993, the castle itself was registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In 1995, there were large earthquakes around this area, which also led to some damage for the castle, but not enough to impair it greatly. The castle itself surprisingly survived the bombings and survives the earthquake, and it's still standing today in all of its glory.